turkey.
Moon Club podcast number 234, YouTube version. Pre-podcast right now. The main podcast will start in about, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 exactly.
We're just throwing out a lot of dog love right now.
Right.
I really love Boston's, but he's really...
You know, I watched this documentary on the BBC.
Really?
Yeah, and it was about how humans probably would not have made it as a species without dogs at our side.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And since he mentioned BBC, Lunatic String.
Go ahead.
And you know why that is? It's because when dogs started getting domesticated, when they were like with the wolves, the most docile dogs would hang out around human camps because they would get the scraps and they would get petted, and like they're like, I want to keep this thing going. So like when danger comes, they're like, hey, they'd bark. They'd be like, hey, something's coming bad this way. So you know, humans kind of started taking in the dogs, and
just
also
the rest
learned
doesn't
to
say
herd.
history.
Just 100 years of that, let alone 100,000, would drastically change them into two separate species. You know, wolf and domesticated dog.
And don't forget the Wolfman.
The Wolfman Jack. He was our babysitter when we were growing up.
Yeah, baby.
True story, huh?
What's that name?
Wolfman Jack was our babysitter when we were growing up.
You're talking about that. What's his name?
Pat.
Pat, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say he was our babysitter. I only went over there a few times to his house, but
Yeah.
you know, he wasn't really Wolfman Jack, though, right?
Yeah, of course. But that was something we had fun with, right?
Yeah, Dad called him Wolfman Jack.
Thanks for memories. Much simpler time, right?
Yeah.
You weren't rushing home to play the latest video game. You weren't, trying to text somebody on your phone while your parents were talking to you. Totally different time. Could you imagine if we had cell phones back then and we were like texting when somebody was trying to talk to us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smack!
Remember when the teachers told us when we were doing math?
You'll never have a calculator.
Yeah, you're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket. Well, as it turns out, you're wrong.
Yeah, because they're getting ready to start building.
Remember when we got those calculator watches though and thought we was the shit? Like,
Yeah.
tick, 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 tick. That was actually back when I could actually see some shit.
You know what? One story that I didn't mention, but do you guys know who Lil Uzi is?
If you're talking about the diamond in this
Yeah, $24 million diamond that he had implanted into his forehead.
he thinks he's
Did-
vision.
Did you see that story?
Like it's a, what do they call it?
A third eye?
Seeing stone or
Third
whatever.
eye.
Third eye.
No,
Did
what
you
do they
hear
call them in the Marvel universe?
Yeah.
That
I don't know.
Thanos collected all
But,
five of
but
them. Right?
it's a real story.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
okay.
He's an idiot.
Well, you know what? What if he doubles his wealth off of just the publicity from that?
Well, I'm not sure that you can double your wealth and like diamonds are all, what are they really worth? They're only worth what somebody says they're worth. You could go to 3 different people and get 3 different appraisals.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, money's only worth what people say it's worth too.
Right.
Well, money's only worth what the government backs it worth.
Right. You know, it seems like a nightmare when.
What I'm saying is, right?
Well, it used to be worth something. Now I agree that it's worth nothing.
I think fiat. I think basically that means that there's nothing to back it up.
That's exactly what it means.
Okay.
Like when it was a gold standard,
Mm-hmm.
then there was something to back it up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But there doesn't have to be. Like, people get confused. They're like, well, there has to be something to back money. It's like, it really doesn't.
No.
There's nothing behind Bitcoin except that we all agree it's worth something. Now
Right.
it's worth a lot more than that.
I think fiat. I think
Or
basically
a lot
that means that
less.
there's nothing to back it up. Yeah. That's exactly what.
Good. That's good.
Speaking of backing it up, didn't you back it up the other night?
The what?
I said, didn't you back it up the other night?
Back what up?
Look at my
That
why don't you
ass.
back that ass up? You's a fine looking bitch. Why don't you back that ass up?
Austin, you looking good. Won't you back that ass up?
All right. So I got YouTube started. This is our live stream that will go up to Apple Podcasts and all those. And we've got about 1 minute before we go live on YouTube.
Good.
YouTube. 15 seconds.
15
Oh,
seconds.
I gotta get Matisse Love.
Oh, please. The beautiful and talented.
That's 6.
You know how I tell the time on a new beach? Sundial style. Yeah.
You have to lay down on your back.
Ow!
Of course. That hurt.
Moon Club Podcast number 234 is live right now. Jumping right into the new Moon Club Podcast theme for the second week in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the lovely and talented Matisse Love.
And she was wanting us to help her out with that.
Yeah, no, that's
Glad we
glad we
left her
just let
alone.
her. Yeah, like, what do I know about making a song?
Well, no, but glad we left her alone.
Right. Like, I don't think there's anything I could have added to make that any better whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, that will be our
So
Moon
maybe
Club
a rap
Podcast
break?
song moving forward.
Maybe a rap break with a little bukkake in it.
Yes.
Yeah. That
Drink
might
for
not be
the
bad.
lunatics.
That might not be bad at all. Alright, you guys ready to get into it?
We're ready.
Let's do this.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Loft Dreams apartment and worldwide on YouTube and Facebook Live, this is the Moon Club Podcast with AJ, MJ, and SJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon, no subject will ever be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club Podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adelman, Bloomington Norwal's premier realtor for the do-it-home selling team by RE/MAX Rising, and I want to be a realtor, and I will out-hustle everybody all day, every day, and then I'll double up on Sunday just to make a point.
I seen that shit too. Live.
It is currently Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. It is 6:03 p.m. The moon comes up at 1:41 p.m. So it's already up, obviously, and it goes down at 5:14 a.m. tomorrow morning.
What's up, Dan Miller?
It is currently waxing gibbous. Its illuminated rate is 2%. It is 393,628 kilometers away from us. It is 11 days old,
Who's Dan Miller?
and it is in the sign of Cancer. Whatever the fuck that means.
Whatever that means.
So when the moon comes up over the horizon, it is in the precession of the equinox. It's in the sign of Cancer. That's what that
Okay,
means.
that's cool. That's cool.
Who's Dan Miller?
Shout out.
I think he's a professional, like a hardcore real estate magnate.
Maybe.
Sounds good. We appreciate it. Welcome to being a lunatic.
I think Dan Miller has his own bottle of water.
Wait, how illuminated was the moon?
It was 84% illuminated. if
So
I
that
remember
leads me
correctly.
to ask the question, how illuminated is Steve?
How illuminated are you, Steve?
You know, I am fully illuminated thanks to blueberry space cake from Fresco that I bought at the Beyond Hello.
And that's how you cut a promo.
You know what? I would just like to congratulate whoever came up with that fucking name.
Right? Blueberry space cake. It don't get better.
Right?
Raise your hand if you want some blueberry space cake. You know
My
what
mouth
I'm
is
saying?
watering. It tastes like a fucking blueberry muffin with like butter and it's hot and it's like you got your nose in it.
Craig T. motherfucking Murray is watching.
What's
In
up,
the
Craig
house.
T. motherfucking Murray?
Greg Kistner says his toe is tapping to the tune.
We appreciate that,
Greg
Greg.
Kistner says, "Hey Craig," and then Craig says, "Number 234, baby, and what's up?"
That's
Or-
a little
he just
Piccolo
said suck.
reunion, right?
Yeah,
A little Piccolo.
a little Piccolo reunion, busting our ass in that kitchen for Dick Gertz and Leslie Harding.
By the way, Craig, I need 2 cannoli.
And put 2 pork chops on the grill.
2 pork.
Right.
2.
All right, so
Dude, we should rewrite that as a fucking sitcom and write Ed Mia Khalifa as one of the characters.
You know you could. Little Snoop Dogg action. We could.
Fuck yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
all right, so let's just jump into some of this stuff that we got. Like LeBron James was fined for violating the league's anti-flopping protocol, and I think we're going to see a lot of this because these players are so used to flopping, and I'm glad that they're enforcing this now because I don't want the NBA. Well, it already has become like soccer, where like you see all these guys, they barely get hit, and then they like.
So yeah,
Flop
that's
to the
always
ground.
been a big part of basketball. So if the
No, it
referee,
hasn't. It wasn't in the '90s.
if the referee doesn't see it, does that mean it doesn't count, or can they go back and look at video now?
They go back and look at video.
They can now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so don't fake it anymore.
But to MJ's point, in soccer, they do not. And you may be subject to the referee pulling a gun out on you.
No, it's called a red card.
No, they've actually pulled guns out. You've got to
Okay,
be careful.
okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
soccer's
agree.
a dangerous
There's yellow
sport.
card, red card,
You know, I heard there was a war.
dangerous fans.
You've heard of a war that was started over a game of soccer?
You know, I believe it. You know, soccer originally was just people kicking heads around on the battlefield. So,
You know I think it was the Iraqi team
Yeah.
was executed after they came back home and they lost to the Americans, right?
Was it Saddam Hussein's sons that tortured his team when they lost?
I believe it was Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
You want to send a shout out to him?
No.
No, he's dead.
And you know, I applaud the refs that called this on LeBron James.
Yeah.
You know, he's not only the face of the league, but they showed that you're not bigger than us. You're not bigger.
He wasn't
than the
touched.
game.
They're gonna show it again. He wasn't touched at all. Here, this is the best view of it.
What? Oh, poltergeist. It was a poltergeist.
It may have been. It may have been interdimensional being.
Yes.
It could have been. I have not seen Space Jam 2, but it could have been something that was
7-year-old child.
happened to Space Jam 2.
Fuck yeah, on a fucking zip line. Oh.
It was ridiculous.
So
Space Jam 2?
no, I just said I think it was a 7-year-old poltergeist on a fucking zip line.
It may or may not have been.
That's probably most likely what happened. What unfolded, as far as I could see.
I think this is a good step in protecting the integrity of the game.
I agree.
Because I don't want to see like grown men acting like they got hurt and fall down.
So you just want them to quit their acting classes?
I want them to play
Yes.
fucking basketball.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to the point to where it's anything detrimental to the game. That's just ridiculous. There's no part of that.
Well, yeah.
Especially when you're LeBron James.
Well, and I don't
You
even,
said it didn't happen in the 90s? Are you sure? I think it's always been a part of the game.
the game was a lot more physical. Yeah, I mean there were people who like acted like they got knocked over and stuff.
Okay.
But
But at the same time, there were people that actually got knocked over.
yeah, like watch the Last Dance documentary. Pat, what's the coach's name? Pat, help me out, Steve. You know what I'm talking about.
Who are you talking
Pat.
about?
Slick back hair. What the fuck is his name? Anyway,
Riley.
Pat Riley. Like
Of course,
his
yeah.
mandate was Michael Jordan goes to the hoop, he gets fucking knocked on his ass, no matter what. Like we
Bottom
don't give him
line.
free points. He's gonna score on us, but he's gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
And the Bulls did the same thing with Shaq. They're like, fucking put him on the line.
Hack-a-Shaq.
Hack-a-Shaq, yeah.
Yeah. And
Like,
he
we've
can't shoot
got-
a free throw for shit, though.
We've got
No.
4 people that can get 5 fouls and get fouled out. We want all 20 of those fouls on Shaq.
And nowadays, those would be considered flagrant fouls.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of times they were off the ball fouls, which means that it wasn't the person guarding the ball that fouled. Like you're fouling their worst free throw shooter.
Right.
You know, could have been Dennis Rodman in the case of the Bulls.
Yeah.
But he would step up to the line and make them back then, you know, because that's what champions do. Basketball has went to a place where it's non-physical right now,
Yeah.
and that just goes to show you.
They're protecting their athletes. Steph Curry, LeBron James, which, you know, I get it, and I don't even blame LeBron James for that. Like, this is how he's made his money.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that they're going to change that now. Like, it's not LeBron's fault.
Right.
He's doing what gives him the best chance to win. We got some comments here. Craig Murray says we need the DJ scratching. Agreed.
Definitely.
Greg Kistner says, you guys hear about Tiger? Yes, we're going to cover that later. Greg Kistner says Israeli-Palestinian hostilities essentially started over a stolen bunch of grapes. Guy trying to feed his family. And then it says Dan Miller is watching again. So welcome back, Dan Miller.
Welcome back. And we appreciate that. And back to the...
Roy Rambo says hello. Sorry, go ahead.
Roy Rambo. Hey, what's up? No, we appreciate all lunatics watching, and make sure you like. One thing we're doing is, in basketball today, are we protecting the athletes? Because it seems like they take a lot more time off than our athletes did back in the day. It seems like there's a lot more injuries, like with the Achilles and so forth. I mean, so are we really protecting our athletes, or are we putting them in more danger? Maybe by them not playing constantly and taking the breaks, it's adding more injuries to their bodies.
Right. Well, think about this. LeBron James is probably one of the biggest and most physical specimens ever in the history of the world.
Yeah. He's like
how
Xerxes,
much would
like
it
300.
take? How much would it take to knock him to the ground if he didn't want to go to the ground?
Do
you think you could do it?
A 357?
Like,
I could.
All three of us could not get him to the ground if he didn't want to go to the ground. We just couldn't do it.
Right.
Well, now, granted, this is these are other like 6.5 feet tall, 250-pound athletes, but still.
Yeah.
Shaq's not going to the ground if he doesn't want to go to the ground.
No, and we covered this before, Shaq going to MMA, which is remarkable because there is no other 7'3", 350-pound guy that's going to match up with him. And he is literally a man amongst boys when it comes to something like that. Like if you're going to try to get physical with Shaq, where the hell does that start? Wrapping yourself around his leg like Jeff Van Gundy did back in the day to Alonzo Mourning, I believe?
Yeah. So, did he become Meta World Peace?
No, that was not Alonzo Mourning.
That was,
he used to play for the Bulls. Ron
Burgundy. Okay, got it.
Ron Burgundy.
But I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that guy, he was also very well known for like wanting to throw down at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, and he did it
people in the crowd.
When he played in Indiana. He actually went into the crowd.
Yeah.
And then that's when he, found peace and changed himself.
Right.
And his
How
life.
terrifying is that? If you're just at a basketball game talking some shit, you're like, yeah, you suck. You're a piece of shit. All of a sudden,
Like,
you're
that
like,
guy's like,
I don't know what the fuck I was saying,
He's
man.
bouncing to the crowd to you.
Yeah.
You got this guy that's like twice your size coming after you. Like,
Dude, that's why it's like Shaq has an amazing amount of discipline. And
Shaq or LeBron?
I'm thinking about Shaq, and you know what? He never could have made it to the level that he did unless he had a tremendous amount of discipline. And plus, he's a very intelligent man. I think he's got like a master's or maybe a doctorate in like philosophy or something.
Shaq has done a lot, but when you have so much money, you can do a lot. You can go back to school.
LeBron James is putting like 200 kids a year through a school that he fucking built himself. Yeah.
All right, how terrifying would it be to look out your airplane window and see this? Hit the lights.
Yeah.
Hit the lights.
That engine is on fire.
Right? You might as well just pull it out and start jerking off right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One last one before I go.
I'd be like, hold on. Pilot, I don't know if this is supposed to be doing this. This doesn't look right.
I think the equivalent would be to a Twilight Zone episode where the dude was looking out the window and seeing a gremlin on the wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here?
You
What
know what?
the hell is going on?
Maybe that's 100% secured. It just lost its facade or its
It's on fire.
Yeah. Well, that's what a jet engine is.
It's on fire.
Well, not like that. It has thrust going out the back. That's obviously.
Yeah, but even if that engine blew up and was off, a jet airplane could land with one engine, or can take off and land with one engine.
Right.
Which seemed like it would just fly in circles to me, but there's apparently a lot of stuff
Dude,
about
you know what? That
aerodynamics that I don't know.
that can't be good publicity for that airline.
Well, the fact that they landed in one piece and everybody's safe is good, right?
Yeah, it's like there's no such thing as a tragedy, or never let a tragedy go to waste.
Mindy Sue is watching.
What's up, Mindy Sue?
The incomparable.
The incomparable Mindy Sue. Mindy, you gonna stop over after you go to Farrell's?
Bring some good pizza.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
You don't have to do that. You can if you want though.
I'm just saying. That
All
was
right.
just a suggestion. Now, I would be scared shitless
Have the
flying
lights
out
off.
the window and the engine was on fire. I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you
yeah.
that. I don't really like flying in a hole. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I gotta tell you, it takes a lot of balls to actually pull out your phone. Like, I'm gonna record this. Like that, I think that would be the last thing I would do. I'd be like, oh shit! Look at this!
Right?
We're fucked!
Dude, I would rather see a UFO pacing us, like 100 feet away, than to see
Yeah,
a fucking
yeah.
jet engine on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that Twilight Zone episode was
Called
was
Gremlin with-
pretty good.
With William
Yes.
Shatner.
Now hold on. No, it wasn't originally with William Shatner, but they remade it as part of the Twilight Zone movie, where they did actually 4 episodes
Uh-huh.
and remade them into a movie. And I'm pretty sure. Now maybe I'm remembering that wrong. Maybe he was in the original and
I
not
think-
the movie version.
I think William Shatner was in the original.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
But they remade a movie version with the Gremlin being a lot more
Sinister.
real life. Because if you watch the original version, it looks like just like a little guy in a monkey suit, like walking around out there. It doesn't,
Yeah.
doesn't
It was
scare
kind
you
of bad, but Rod Serling that did those Twilight Zones, an amazing
I agree.
body of work.
Storyteller.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And for the time, I mean, you gotta understand that at the same time, the birds was really scary.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, he would
Well,
not.
he was a master, Alfred Hitchcock, master of
Alfred
suspense.
Hitchcock,
right.
It's not what he showed you on the screen; it's what he didn't show you a lot of
what
times.
he left to imagination.
Right.
He would
Which,
knock out like 5 of those a week, and he would write them all, and like he was in charge of everything.
let me tie this into exactly what's going on right now with this cancel culture, right?
Yeah.
Remember the episode where the little kid would wish everybody into the cornfield,
Yeah.
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And they all had to bow down to him.
Was
Yeah.
that Ron Howard?
No, it was some kid that's been on art from coast to coast many times. Billy
So
something.
everybody would have to like bow down and kiss this kid's ass, because if they didn't, they got wished out into the cornfield.
Just not onto the cornfield. Like his sister had no mouth.
That's where we are. Well, because he didn't want to wish her to the cornfield, but he didn't want her to talk either.
Right.
But that's where we are now with cancel culture. You
And it
can't
was his
say
birthday every
anything
day.
that goes against these fucking snowflakes, because if you do, they'll cancel your ass. And we're letting these fucking millennials run shit because we've told them that they're important all their lives and that their opinion matters, and they're all so fucking hyped up on ego trips that they need to live real life, and they just aren't.
And which it does. Their lives do matter, but we also got to
I
understand.
didn't say their lives didn't matter.
No,
Okay.
you didn't say that. But what I may be going off on a tangent here, which would not be out from my personality. But what I'm saying is that they have to understand that because people are different, that doesn't cancel. You know what I mean? It's all right for them to have their own thoughts and their own memories,
Yeah.
and their own everything.
I mean, back in the day, people had different opinions, and they would go on and debate those different opinions. But you wouldn't get like, oh, if you don't agree with me, you're a racist, you're a
Unfriended.
homophobe, you're a bigot. I won't even have you. I want to deplatform you. I want to take your voice away.
Take your
I want
job.
I want to get you canceled. Like now, there's like no debate. If you don't agree,
You know what?
you're out. You're wished out into the cornfield.
I might have to disagree with you a little bit because I've seen great oppositions
To the
where
cornfield, brother.
where things are a dichotomy, and I know there's been a lot of presidential debates that were just as heated as Trump and Biden. Like I can't really think of any right now, but
I
Well-
really don't even call that heated.
No, that was that wasn't heated. Like, okay, so Nixon and Kennedy, right? We had some good debates. Now, that debate was widely considered the first made-for-TV debate because if you just listen to the audio, everybody thought Nixon won, but because Kennedy was so slick and good-looking and people loved him, if you watched it on TV, everybody thought Kennedy won. Like
He's got a face for TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Nixon had a face for
Radio.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yep.
You know, which if
I agree with me.
Definitely agree
Yeah,
with you.
Kennedy was dynamic, but you know what? So was Nixon. I mean, he obviously rose to the top very fast. You know, he got into politics because he won money playing poker.
Well, and another thing you got to remember about Nixon is he was not a pro.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that true? I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't know how you'd ask your the girl there, but
I believe that's your
I'm
guy.
asking her shit.
Echo. Tell me about Nixon and a famous poker game.
Richard Milhouse Nixon was the 37th President of the United States, serving from 1969 to 1974, when he became the only president to resign the office. Did that answer your question?
No, not once did you mention poker. Now, did you?
Thanks for your feedback.
You're welcome. Now go fuck yourself.
By the way, Echo, where
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Dude, she'll shut off if you get fucking 2 minutes.
So let's just move on.
What's up, Roy Rambo?
He's been on for a while. The Perseverance rover landed on Mars.
What the freak?
A couple days ago, right?
They're looking for life, right?
Yeah, that's the
Perseverance.
for.
You gonna play the video of the nerds?
I've heard that there's a bunch
Well,
of.
we've got a couple different videos. We got the first one of it landing.
Didn't it go from like 7,000 miles an hour to 2 miles an hour in a matter of minutes?
Yeah.
Remarkable.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a whole team though that decided that, I'm sure.
Perseverance is now slowed to subsonic speeds and the heat shield has been separated. Scott, can you move ahead further? About 20 meters off the surface.
No, we need to.
Signal from MRO. Tango Delta.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
Alright, so the Perseverance rover is now on Mars. It's not the first rover to ever land on Mars, but this one is looking for signs of past life, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've also got this, that parachute that was deployed has a hidden message in it.
And I'm not sure, but it looked like there was miles of cord.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
maybe like 2 miles.
Alpha indicates shoot deployed.
The navigation has
How
confirmed
big
that
is
the
that? Do we
parachute
actually
has
know?
deployed and we're seeing significant deceleration.
I wonder if that's like 100 or 1,000 foot across.
Translation really looks textbook. It's nice and symmetric. The parachute
Which
opens
is like
in only
40
about 7/10 of a second,
40
going really fast.
I think it's like 30.
There's no evidence of tangling of the lines, which is great.
Dude,
That's,
those could be, they
about
could be
2
math.
miles.
Go
I was
out.
talking about how long the
Parachute
cords
system.
are right now.
So the fact that we don't see any evidence of tangling
back.
or any kind
Go
of
back.
other second, again, really fast. There's no evidence of tangling of the lines, which is great. There's about 2 miles of lines in the parachute system. So the fact that we don't see any evidence of tangling or any kind of other misbehavior is great news. And I'm sure we'll be studying this video for many, many years and picking it apart frame by frame. And of course, we have a second camera on board as well that recorded this launch and inflation of the parachute. You might notice the pattern that's on the parachute here. The sync patterns are useful in helping us determine the clocking or orientation of the parachute. Also, the contrasting sections can be useful in tracking different positions of the parachute, different portions of the parachute as it inflates. So it's especially useful when we have multiple cameras, as we do here, and are trying to track features in the parachute inflating. In addition to enabling incredible science, we hope our efforts and our engineering can inspire others. Sometimes we leave messages in our work for others to find for that purpose. So we invite you all to give it a shot and show your work.
It's like an Easter egg.
Yeah, it's like those designs were on the parachute that way so we could take in information. by the way it moved.
I know exactly what it says. Can I tell you?
Go ahead.
Drink more Ovaltine.
No,
Yeah.
be sure to
Yeah.
drink your Ovaltine.
Coming commercial?
Son of a bitch.
No, but what he's saying is like
Nailed it.
he's not going to tell you what the pattern meant.
You gotta
he
do
wants
your
people,
math.
he wants people to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think even more importantly is that we got a fucking Perseverance rover on Mars. That's
Yeah.
pretty exciting, right?
I'm excited about it. Now, did he say show your work?
Yeah.
Because I thought they said that that was racist. Showing your work mathematically.
Yeah. That's what I think.
But anyhow, I am glad that there's a rover, Perseverance, trying to find life on Mars or previous life on Mars. And you know, there are so many different ways to land a rover. And like the gentleman said, that they're going to be looking over that for years and years to come because it was such a successful landing. Because, I mean, they have bounced those things with airbags before. They've tried to deploy them.
I think this one had airbags on it, too.
Did it?
Yeah.
Because they said it
For like the
went
last
from
200 feet.
7,000 miles to 2 miles an hour. And going 2 miles an hour, you wouldn't think it would need that as far as...
Well, I
landing.
think the airbags were a safety measure if there was something wrong with the chute, right?
In case it
Right. But
bounced.
you know, to try to save it if it actually hit the ground at a high velocity of
Right.
speed. But
Because they're
since,
supposed to cover itself.
since the parachute pretty much deployed flawlessly, they didn't
Yeah.
need the airbags, which you know is what they were hoping for.
Bravo.
You know, it's kind of like a poker game because everybody's trying to do their part to make sure the mission doesn't fail because this mission, I don't know how much it costs, but it might be like $4.5 billion. And if you fail, guess what? Your job is probably, it's done. It's over. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's not how government jobs work.
Well, you
They
just
try
can't,
again. They
you
get
just
more
can't
funding.
blow that much money. Remember how criticized Hubble was when they realized that the fucking magnifying glass was
But was
off by-
Hubble government? Like this is NASA, right?
Yeah.
Like Hubble was a private enterprise. Same thing with like SpaceX. Like yeah, they get criticized because when they
Right.
run out of money, there's no more money.
Yeah.
When the government runs out of money, they're like, well, we'll just print more money.
Yeah. We'll just
Yeah.
charge
Anyway,
you
I
more
digress.
money.
The last video I want to show is the inside panoramic view of inside the control center,
Mission
where
control.
we kind of saw all these geeks partying up already. But I think this is just it's fun to watch to see like you said, this is years of work for these people. Like this
Yeah.
is what they've been waiting for. So
Life
I'm pretty
accomplishment.
sure they celebrate. I'm pretty sure some people probably even cried a little bit, and
Right.
I'm not making fun of them. Like it's like one of those things. Like we fucking did it.
Right.
All this work is finally paid off. We got a fucking rover on Mars.
It's like these two right here just might be just on the fucking parachute deployment because after that thing goes, they
75
bump.
meters per
they
second
bump
and an
nuts.
altitude
We
of
said
5
18
kilometers
years, right?
off the surface of Mars.
18
Here,
years
18
worth
years
of
of
work.
work.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars. We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct-to-earth tones.
Which was expected.
Sky crane maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
We're getting signals from MRO.
You check is good? Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
Are they celebrating they got jobs tomorrow? You know what I mean?
once again, government employees don't get fired.
Yeah, but it's like it's pretty cool that they fucking did a Hail Mary and landed on Mars from here.
I'm pretty sure that the two at the bottom of the screen
like-
are hooking up.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah. Probably. That was apparent. Do you guys ever watch The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Of course.
So, one of the guys was like in charge of the Mars rover, right? That was Howard Wolowitz.
Wolowitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a hot girlfriend.
Yeah, she's alright.
I like her. Bernadette.
Yeah, she's not bad. Not bad. I'm more of a Kaylee Kuko fan, but
I like them both. Isn't that an option?
Yeah, you
It's
can like
an
them both.
option.
But I think Bernadette would be. I mean, after a couple days, she'd be annoying.
There's a squeaky voice.
Yeah.
So you choose Kaylee Kuko?
Yeah.
I find that super hot. I like Bernadette. I
Okay.
don't mind her.
But you know what? It's like
it's
a little
not
more
wrong. It's not
petite.
right or wrong.
A little more.
I think you might be right as far as
big chest.
hot girlfriend. Kaylee Kuko, that's probably her designation.
Yeah. Kaylee Kuko was on TMZ the other day. She got something about her teeth, right?
Really?
I can find that. You guys talk
She-
amongst yourself.
What do you think Kaylee Kuko could be on the news about her teeth? Do you think she got some veneers?
You know, I think that she did have an accident. It was kind of like the World According to Garb accident. She was in her driveway and she was giving a BJ to a guy. And next thing you know, bam, they got smacked in the back by.
Oh yeah, you know I read that she was in a
car.
G-Wagon.
And so she may have
Yep.
chipped a tooth. I'm not
Yeah,
certain.
yeah, she
But she did bite the penis of a guy straight off.
right.
I'm not finding it.
Now
Alright.
that may or may not be true. You could look it up yourself.
Well,
pretty
facts
sure it
don't
is.
get in the way of a good Moon Club podcast story, right?
No,
Right.
no,
Nothing's ever taboo.
no. And you can always double check yourself.
Yeah. And our fact checker is doing kickboxing right now, so we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Was it-
Whatever the F we want.
was it-
Fuck.
Wait, was that video Kaylee Cuckold or Kaylee Kuko?
Doesn't say here.
Or it could be Cockhold, which is
Oh.
her. You know, if we would go alternate universe, that would be her stripper name
Right.
or
Right.
her porn name.
We should write her into the next Spider-Verse fucking movie.
I wish Kaylee Kuko got me in a cockle.
Yeah?
I don't even know if it's good or bad. I'm just willing to try.
You're down?
You know,
As
it's
long as-
kind of like pulled groin. Is that a good date or is it a serious injury?
Exactly.
That's how you look at it.
Yeah.
So you sign the contract, then you realize it's Haley Kuko. It's like it's some tranny fucking personality fucking.
Right.
She does her makeup like.
To
Kaylee
everybody's
Kuko.
surprise, it was actually Haley Joel Osment.
Yes, dressed as Kaylee Kuko.
Yeah.
Cuckold.
Formerly, AKA.
Dude, the last movie I saw with Haley Joel Osment was a movie that
Entourage. He was in the Entourage movie.
it was a Kevin Smith movie called Tusks or Tusk, and it's such a disturbing movie. I actually stopped watching it.
Did he actually see dead people? Is this some kid?
Yeah, he's in that.
Oh.
And it's about these guys that do a podcast, and it's like they want to go and do research on somebody, and they got this address, and
By the way, speaking of Haley Joel Osment and that I See Dead People movie, which was an M. Night Shyamalan movie, right?
Right.
The first, as far as I know, it's the first. It may not have been the first, but I think it's kind of what
Blockbuster.
it kind of what put M. Night Shyamalan.
oh,
on
without
the
a
map.
doubt, without a doubt.
And then after that, it seemed like M. Night Shyamalan kind of got in love with like trying to throw the twist at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
You're never
Right.
going to do it as good as he did with that one, but
But just like a pitcher, a curveball is his best throw.
I made that point to the incomparable Mindy Sue the other day. She asked me if I'd ever seen this movie called.
The Village.
No, it was.
It's got a twist.
It was.
So does the corkscrew.
It was about aliens, and it had.
Signs.
Signs, yes.
Yes.
And that was actually a pretty good movie. Like I told her, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not into M. Night Shyamalan movies anymore because
Oh,
you know
Mel
I've been
Gibson?
burnt too many
It's
times.
definitely a C plus.
But that was, I think it's even better than that. I give it
Yeah.
a solid B.
Yeah.
That was Mel Gibson and Joaquin.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix.
You know what? The kid that plays the little brother in that's really good too. The kid with asthma.
Yeah.
The kid that's trying to figure everything out. He's listening to him on the radio and signs.
I
and
do
the way
believe
they tied the
in
crop circles
Science
into it.
2 he was probed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
Anyway, I had never even heard of the movie, but we watched
good
it. And I'm
movie.
like, okay, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Have you seen The Village?
No,
hated it.
No, it's pretty good.
I never
It's
actually
pretty good.
sat down and watched the whole thing through, but I know how it ends, and I know it's a
Yeah.
bullshit ending. Okay, so we talked about Starlink before on the podcast many times, and I think it's important that we actually let everybody know exactly what Starlink is. I think Starlink's kind of like thrown out there as this thing, and people don't really
Lawrence
understand
Mueller
what it
is watching.
Lawrence, oh yeah, I sold her house
What
That's
up?
it, right?
in Pontiac. Yeah, I think Mueller,
Mueller,
yeah.
yeah. So
Uh,
Starlink, when we cut the lights?
Yeah, cut the lights. So this is Starlink Explained. for anybody that might not know what Starlink is.
For the layman.
I think everybody kind of knows.
SpaceX operates more commercial satellites than any other company in the world. Each launch of 60 new Starlink satellites brings SpaceX closer to delivering broadband internet to paying customers around the globe. There are now about 300 Starlinks circling the Earth. Now this represents just the tip of the iceberg, as SpaceX is seeking to create a mega constellation of 42,000 individual satellites. The company hopes to deploy about 1,400 new Starlink satellites by the end of this year. That would mean about 2 rocket launches per month. This is made possible by virtue of SpaceX being able to leverage its normally scheduled commercial launches, filling the extra cargo space with Starlink satellites and missions dedicated to Starlink. The satellites have stirred controversy among some astronomers. They complained the Starlinks could compromise the ability of ground-based telescopes to make observations. This video was shot in the Netherlands as a train of Starlinks went overhead before they started moving apart from each other. SpaceX isn't the only company with plans for beaming internet access from space. Rival companies include OneWeb, Telesat, and Amazon. They have similar plans to create large-scale mega-constellations. Managing these orbiting assets, which could number into the hundreds of thousands before we know it, will get increasingly difficult. For reference, there's now about only 5,000 satellites currently in orbit around Earth. I'm Rick Lasby for WFIT, public broadcasting for the Space Coast.
Alright, so that's kind of like Starlink explained in a nutshell. Very oversimplified, but I think it's important that people know that. Now,
And this is me in a nutshell. Hey, I'm in a nutshell. How do I get out of here?
You know what?
it's a pretty good impersonation of being in a
I think
nutshell.
they didn't mention, but they're also they're able to phase them out, so it's like when they're redundant, they can just crash down in a safe place and burn up in the atmosphere.
And some of these are only the size of a shoebox.
Yeah, they are
Oh,
that.
yeah, they're small. They're small. And by the way, when they were saying that they saw them all deploying and they were like messing up the stargazing, like that was them just deploying, and they haven't like put on their visor yet, so they'll be pretty much invisible. You won't really see them from Earth as you're trying to view the stars. But here's the thing: I think we need to think about this because let's go back into the early 1900s when we started like putting these telephone poles up and stringing these lines across, right? That's kind of what we're doing now, but we're doing it in a low Earth orbit, right?
Right.
So if we extrapolate this out into like another couple hundred years where we're having like, launches into space a lot more frequently, are we going to be like running into these things? Do we have to worry about it?
No, like I said, they can
going to
phase
be-
them out, so they're low enough to where they will fall out of orbit.
And you can catch one in a baseball mitt.
No, it would burn up in the atmosphere. So it's almost like it's a recycled plant, but it's a satellite.
Yeah, but they actually like coat themselves in a protective coating, and they spin real fast as they enter the atmosphere, so that you can actually just stand there and catch them like a baseball.
Like
Exactly.
an M&M?
Yeah.
I do believe that is analese is
They-
what that is
Uh-huh.
coated
They
in. Or
got
KY.
Are you trying to tell me they got a candy coating?
Yep.
KY.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Like Advil.
Like
Exactly.
Advil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that Mitch Hedberg joke?
That makes
Like,
sense now.
They say on a packet of Advil, do not eat. But if you're telling me not to eat them, why do you put them in a candy coating?
And why am I swallowing?
Or maybe it's not Advil. I don't know.
Why am I
Well,
swallowing?
Advil are definitely sweet.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they in a candy coating?
I wouldn't call them candy, but it's like I don't
It's a
know.
coating.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
straight strong.
what we would have gotten out of Mitch Hedberg if he wouldn't have died at such a young age?
Yeah.
Same thing with Bill Hicks.
Or Max
But you know
Headroom.
what?
Max
I think sometimes their disability or their addiction might feed their genius as far as comedy goes. You know, sometimes you gotta live that lifestyle to see the humor in it.
There is a certain amount to be said for that lifestyle contributing to that comedy brain, right?
Yeah.
Like most of the people that we respect as comedians have something wrong, something's off. Like it could be a childhood, could be the way they were raised, could be a lot of things, but
Yeah.
it takes pressure to make a diamond, right?
Right.
Well, and another
Shine on,
thing
you crazy diamond.
is they're making light of their situation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can relate to that. And we gotta laugh at ourselves, right? And
Yeah.
also, it's a lot easier to laugh at other people.
Yep. And I think it's important for people like Dave Chappelle, who's able to say these jokes about things we're not supposed to be able to joke about in this culture, right? Like he's
Again, it's a
continually-
joke.
continually making jokes about transgender or transsexual, which, you know what? Yeah, I mean, it's sad for these people who are like trapped in a body they don't think that they belong in. But come on, can you not laugh at it? I mean, let's laugh at everything.
Yeah.
Not being mean, not being malicious.
No sacred
there's-
cows.
But see, here's the thing: comedy comes from a place where you try stuff, and sometimes you try stuff that fails. It doesn't mean you're being malicious.
Right.
It does. It could mean that you could be,
It's
Yeah.
comedy.
but the way Dave Chappelle does it and doesn't apologize for it, I think is so important today because so many things have been taken off the table that you can't talk about, and Dave Chappelle's just like, "Fuck it." I'm
Remember
gonna
that?
do it.
Remember that joke I did about the tranny on the podcast? I said I was scrolling through the videos and it says tranny fuck straight guy, and I was like, hey, you know, I guess that makes it all right then. So I clicked on it, and it's like, after I watched it, I realized that there's two definitions of what a straight guy is. And then I said, that's 29 minutes I'm never gonna get back.
Yeah, work on your delivery.
Okay.
And
okay.
you know you only watch 5 minutes of that.
Right.
Whatever it takes.
I skipped till the end.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
All right, so,
I do want to say something about, I believe they said that with everybody else putting satellites into space, that there possibly may be over 5,000 satellites at one time in our orbit. And that does, just like you said, it seems dangerous not only for planes flying, but also space travel.
yeah. So this is when we say low Earth orbit. I think we're talking about like planes don't go that high.
Right. No, for sure they don't.
But I'm saying as they're coming to, you know, because what they're eventually doing is they're always falling, right?
Yeah, and a constant fall. That's what an orbit is. Yeah.
So once it may not be in that orbit now, but once it gets into that orbit, and like Austin was saying, most of them may burn up.
Yeah.
I think they're engineered to do so.
So
Yeah, I agree.
here's the thing: they are
That's the reason why
constantly
they make
falling,
them small.
but they're also moving at a trajectory horizontal to the Earth at the same rate they're falling. So they're staying at a rate constantly the same distance above the Earth's surface.
Right. So you know how fast it's traveling?
It depends on how high they are.
10 times, well, in general, 10 times faster than a speeding bullet. So, and check this out. You know what's
And
crazy?
more powerful than a locomotive.
Right.
So that's true. But it's like, you know what's crazy is though, they'll go outside traveling that fast because actually it doesn't, because it's relative. It doesn't seem like you're going that fast because you're a mass that's moving at the same. You know what I'm saying?
It might even be faster than 10 times the speeding bullet. 'Cause if you think about it, if you're on the surface of the Earth and you just hold a gun straight out and you fire it, eventually it falls to the ground, right?
Right.
So that bullet is falling to the ground at 10.8 meters per second. So it's not moving away from the Earth or horizontal to the Earth fast enough.
Echo. How fast does the bullet travel?
Bullet's maximum speed is 1,220 miles per second.
Echo. What is the velocity of the space station?
The International Space Station speed is 7.66.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is that miles an hour? You know?
But anyway, on the Earth's surface, you would have to be moving a lot faster to maintain an orbit.
Yeah.
But up in space.
Because of gravity.
Yeah, well, there's still gravity up in space. There's less
Right.
gravity, but you don't have to be moving as fast.
Right, and you know the moon is in a free fall orbit around the Earth too.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
the moon is actually leaving Earth's orbit.
Yeah.
yes, very slowly.
A half inch every year. Is that
Yeah,
about-
something like that, or
Yeah.
2 inches per year, something like
Yeah.
that.
Because
But we're-
it's leaving our gravitational
The Earth is
pull.
also in
Right.
a free fall orbit around the sun.
Yeah.
True that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Newtonian physics that controls all that shit.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I do believe that Tom Petty wrote a song about it.
The waiting is the
free
hard part.
balling.
Free falling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Free falling. Free balling was the live version. Free balling. Yeah.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
what he did live.
Remember I used to pull my nuts out at everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never got old. Well, actually, I don't know.
Well,
anymore.
it got really old, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right, so apparently Tiger Woods was involved in an accident today.
What the fuck? Another
I
one?
don't know.
Is he always
Good
getting in
job.
accidents?
Right, good
Wait, was
job.
was Elin chasing him this time?
Right? Should he have a license?
Yeah, maybe that motherfucker just shouldn't drive.
I mean, come on, he's got
Oh,
enough
wait.
money to where he could pay a driver, right?
The Asian stereotype.
Oh,
Should
we
we
did
play
not
on
say
that with
that.
driving? No, I'm not. I didn't do that. Shame on me. I'm
Rewind.
gonna kick my own ass for that.
You will.
Yeah, but forget
He's
your
in
political
Rancho
career now,
Palos Verdes.
brother.
Scott Reif is in Air 7 over at Scott.
And we have a bad accident that occurred
Is
early
that a
this
G-Wagon?
morning around 7:30 with this
I believe
overturned
that's
vehicle on
Sylvester.
Hawthorne Boulevard and Black Horse Road in Rancho Palos Verdes. We're trying to confirm who was on board that car that overturned there. They're in critical condition, transferred to UCLA Harbor Medical Center. We believe it's someone famous. We just haven't been able to confirm that. We will work on that. But Hawthorne Boulevard is shut down in both directions here, and it looks like it will be. And now we are getting some confirmation, I believe, from the Sheriff's Department that it was Tiger Woods that was involved in that accident. So it'll be a lengthy investigation. It's unclear. We only see one vehicle here, so I don't know if it's a two-car collision or just the vehicle that Tiger was in or possibly driving that overturned, but it is badly damaged. We believe at least one person transported was in critical condition. We don't know for certain that was Tiger Woods, but somehow, according to the LA County Sheriff's Department, Tiger Woods was involved. That's a Bentley, so it's a high-profile, very expensive SUV. It very well could have been him as the driver. We'll try and get you more information as to its condition, but for now, Hawthorne Boulevard is shut down in both directions. It would be a lengthy investigation. From Air 7 HP, I'm Scott Reif, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, Scott, but before you go, I can actually tell you what the tweet from the LA County Sheriff's Department is actually saying, and it says that this happened about 7:12 a.m. and that it was Tiger Woods, that they had to use the jaws of life to get him out, and he was transported to a local hospital by ambulance with his injuries. That, again, is being attributed to the LA County Sheriff's verified Twitter account. So it is conducted, the investigation is being conducted by investigators. They're also saying that he was the sole occupant of that vehicle. And if I'm looking correctly, Scott, it looks like that is one of the courtesy vehicles from the Genesis Invitational, which you can see the logo there on that, looks to me, passenger side door there. So, you know, Tiger Woods had been at least at the Genesis Open, which was at Riviera Country Club over the weekend. But according to the Sheriff's Department, that was Tiger Woods in that vehicle, and that he's been cut out with the jaws of life and taken to the hospital. So I wanted to give you that information since that was on the Twitter page here. So, Scott, that looks pretty.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more
Eyewitness
great
News,
ABC
Channel 7, more
content
news
by
at 11. But seriously, no. Hopefully Tiger Woods is all right. Like, let's not. It sounds like it's pretty serious. They had to cut him out with the jaws of life.
Yeah.
And
he started to say extra.
Fifth life.
He was taken out. He was trying to spit out extradited though. You notice that?
Yeah.
So are you?
Yeah, I was extradited. You know where the term cesarean born comes from?
Caesar.
Caesar was born like that. Yeah, he was cut out.
You know, one thing I find interesting is not only does Tiger Woods obviously have a lot of money, but they said that that vehicle was like on loan to him or whatever for the invitational, the golf invitational that he was driving, and that it was a Bentley. I mean, let's be honest, it's good to be Tiger Woods, other than this instance, you know, other than right
Well,
now.
Tiger Woods has probably had 2 bad days in his life, right? It's the
Both
day
wrecks.
the day that his wife found out that he was fucking everybody, and today. Well, besides that, well, and the day he lost his dad, probably.
Michael Jordan had some bad days too.
Yeah, but overall, even today,
is good.
I would take Tiger Woods' life over mine.
Yeah, you'd switch?
Yeah.
I'd switch with Hef right now.
Hef's dead.
Yeah.
That's a little sad also. We'll talk about that later. After
But yeah, probably Tiger Woods exactly 3 bad days.
Yeah.
Today, the day Elin found out he was fucking everybody, and the day his dad died. Because, let's face it, Tiger loved his dad.
Now, I'm not judging Tiger at all, but it seems awful far from the road, and there was no other car involved. I mean, what's this dude doing? Is
Yeah,
he
I mean,
doing
if I'm
some
just
more-
looking at the crime scene, well, not crime scene, but the accident scene, like, I don't even know how that car gets to where it is, because there's one way this way and one way that way, and then like he's way over here. Like, what
On
happened?
his side, that's flipped,
What
yeah.
happened? I don't know.
I mean, we've all been there, right? Getting something off the floor
Yeah,
or
been
something.
there. Been there.
You know, it's funny how that car swerves when you go down like that.
Right. Or, you know, you're driving along, you get that text, you're like, oh, let me fucking straighten this bitch out right now. And you start texting, you're like, oh shit, I'm driving. You look up and you're like, I'm heading off the road.
Bam.
Yeah. So, all you moon clovers out there,
be careful.
Don't text and drive, okay? Let that phone sit there. You can wait to text back. Live to text another day.
That's
there
right.
I said it. There I said it.
He said it. He said it. Did you have anything to say on that, Austin?
No.
Were you going to say Bukaki?
BDC? Yeah, I don't think you said BDC all episode.
I have.
Well, that was pre-episode. Just putting it out there.
All right, so if we're done with Tiger Woods,
We're done.
I've got another story I want to talk about, because I have said some things about the AOC, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that are probably not favorable. So when somebody that I've spoken ill of does something good, I think it's only fair that I bring that back up. So while Ted Cruz was taking a trip down to Cancun or wherever the fuck he was going, and the people in his district, his state, were suffering, the AOC, who is from New York, flew down to Texas and tried to help the people out, and I gotta give her props.
New York Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Texas Rep. Sylvia Garcia, and Sheila Jackson-Lee volunteered at the Houston Food Bank this morning, where residents are dealing with the aftermath of a winter storm that left millions without power across Texas during bitter cold temperatures. Ocasio-Cortez organized a fundraiser to benefit 5 million relief organizations that are providing food, water, and shelter for Texans in need. $3.2 million has been raised so far. Ocasio-Cortez's efforts, in partnership with 12 Texas organizations getting on-the-ground relief to residents. She set up the donation website to where contributions will be split evenly between the organizations.
We hit $3.2 million in assistance for Texans across the state just last night. And I think this shows that New York stands with you, that the whole country stands with you.
The millions raised will be split between a variety of food banks across Texas, including the South Texas Food Bank.
All right, so, yep. It seems like the AOC and her squad care a lot more about the people of Texas than Ted Cruz does. And Christopher Shenton, goddamn, Christopher Shenton, haven't talked to you in forever.
What up, Cruz?
Says she has raised millions, and you have to admire her. Absolutely, yes, helping the people when they're in need. You gotta respect that. And yeah, it just kind of shows you where your head is at when Ted Cruz goes to Cancun or where the fuck he went.
He got a lot of shit for that, didn't he?
Well deserved.
You know, this is my thing. Texas has a lot of money.
Chris Shenton's back.
What's up, Chris Shenton?
And granted, you know, you don't get frost every year, you know, but you should be a little better prepared when that does happen. And to your point, don't take a damn vacation when that's going on.
Yeah.
When you got people in need, I mean, I don't think that really helps his reelection efforts. I think AOC might even be able to run, you know, in Texas better than Cruz can right now.
I mean, if I'm in Texas, I know who I'm voting for.
Right now.
But yeah. You're
Boots
right.
on the ground.
Boots on the ground. The question was, and we talked about this morning, it's like, well, what could Ted Cruz have done? I don't know. I didn't know. Well, he could have done what AOC did, right? AOC came down there and did that and raised millions of dollars for people. So, yeah, he could have done that.
Well, not only that, he could have enacted the old National Guard, right? He has that capability. I mean, he could have done a lot more. He could have...
That's the governor, not the senator.
That's right. The governor is the... I thought he is the governor of Texas, right?
No, he's
a senator?
He's a representative, but
Representative?
but still,
Who's the governor of Texas?
I told you to never ask me a question I know the answer to.
I'm sorry. Echo. Who is the governor of Texas?
The governor of Texas is Greg Abbott.
Thank you. You're dismissed.
Anytime.
I hate
Hope
Greg,
you've enjoyed
Greg
your
Abbott.
Tuesday.
You know why? I hate anybody whose last name comes before me in the alphabet.
And that's not too many.
There's not too many. It's a very
Not too
small
many.
amount of people. But I don't know that guy. I'll give
What's
Greg
up,
Abbott
Scott
a pass.
Nickham?
What up, Scott?
Chris Shenton. By the way, if you ever want to fucking Skype into the podcast again, we'll get you on here. We'll get you on here, motherfucker.
And to my point, okay, so he's not the governor and can't enact, but he can definitely, throw a little dirt that way. He can say, hey, Gov, why don't you do this? You know, he can be there for his constituents.
Right. And I think that's the thing. When you are a representative, like you're supposed to represent that state. So when your people are in need, you need to ask yourself, what can I do to make this
I'd be
better?
a champion.
What can I do to make this better? Do I
Yeah.
go vacation in Cancun for a week? Probably a bad idea. But
You work 36 days out of the year.
when the AOC comes down and raises all this money, you're like, yeah, I mean, she did a lot more for the people of Texas than you did.
It's kind of the giant douche turd sandwich kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Who is he? The giant douche or is he the turd sandwich?
Right.
Christian says there's a load of people in charge in Texas and they are all working with FEMA.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that did well in Louisiana. I'm just saying.
You're talking about Katrina.
Katrina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Is this Alex Jones talk?
no,
No.
it's not Alex Jones. No, it's not Alex Jones talk.
It could be.
We're at about 56 minutes in right now, and I got this anti-masking situation where this girl actually quits her job, and it's
What the
just really unfortunate. And I think all these people that are anti-maskers and want to make a point, I think you have to really consider the people that are just trying to do their job, and this is what happens.
You know, it almost
So let's
seems
make a
like
point.
an SNL skit. Because at the end she's like, fuck it, I'll just put the mask on.
Right, it's too late. It was too late at that point.
One thing I think we got to remember too is that the people that are responsible for us to wear the masks, they're making minimum wage and they're giving maximum effort. So let's try to be a little bit on the other side, you know, and help them
100%.
out a little
Like,
bit.
if you have a problem with people trying to make you wear a mask, don't take it up with the people that are making minimum wage working inside a restaurant or a cafe. Take it up with the management or the bosses or the owners or something. Don't come in there and try to make a point to the people that are just trying to eke out a living.
A teenager.
There's nothing heroic
Right.
about that.
All right, so here we go.
What's good, y'all? It's Daily Dose Karen here, back with another video, and today we got a video of a Karen literally making a girl quit her job. She's literally just like, I don't get paid enough for this crap, I'm out of here. Here's the video.
I completely understand you just have to put your mask on in order to walk inside.
We're just literally walking 5 feet into the restaurant. I don't understand.
I understand. If you don't mind, please just put it on.
You know how much hot gas she's spitting into you right now?
Yeah,
all over
I'll look at my manager for you.
Yeah, I don't see why I need to have a mask on to go 5 feet
Well,
into
man,
a
because
restaurant.
we're
That girl's not wearing one, that girl's not wearing
I'll
one.
explain to you if you don't let me talk.
I'm not walking 5 feet into a
But it's
restaurant.
people like
I'm already in
people
here.
like you that make it difficult to have a job and I'm gonna get paid enough to be here, and it's not fair because it's not even my fault. I just quit, I'm sorry. Thank you a lot.
She should have seriously just left.
Fine, I'll wear it. I'll wear the mask. Fine. Happy? Are we happy now?
And I think her husband or boyfriend or her
Yeah, whoever
partner,
the guy was standing was like, just quit being a bitch.
the whole time he was like, come on, let's just put the mask on.
Yeah.
He had his mask on because I think he was fucking embarrassed.
Well, you know what? We are in a pandemic. Like, I would like to think we're coming out the other side of it right now. Like, people are getting vaccinated.
That's what she said.
Cases are down. New cases per day are down. But it doesn't mean that it can't come back. It doesn't mean that there can't be variations in the virus. It doesn't mean that it can't come back. We're not necessarily out of the woods yet. We have to be careful. We have to wear masks. Like, she's sitting there breathing all over everybody. Like, the one thing we can do is be vigilant and try to, like, keep people around us safe.
Right.
And, like, the one thing about anti-maskers is they're like, fuck it, it's all about me. I don't want to wear a mask. You're being fucking
Be unselfish.
You're being really selfish and self-centered right now. And you know what? Fucking the human species can be wiped off the face of the earth. It's not outside the realm of possibility. I think 2020 has taught us that.
Right.
Yeah.
And if she didn't have the Rona, at least you know they were on a date and she just had a dick in her mouth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. And by the way, one of the best looking Karens I've seen. And by the way, the girl that quit her job, pretty fucking special too.
Yeah.
The backside was.
And again, a minimum wage person does not deserve your bullshit.
Absolutely. Walk out the fucking door. I'll get a job at another coffee place or wherever. You know, I don't even fucking deal with this.
Ridiculous.
All right.
I think that was the Dodo Factory.
Moon Club Podcast number 234. Hey, we did it. We're out, people. We're out.
Again.
Moon Club Podcast number 234. We out.
I told you guys we'd make it. I told you, Steve.
Peace. We did it.
Peace out.
Knuckles.
Moon Club Podcast 234, Facebook version out.
Another one in the can.
I think that was a good one. I mean, I got a good book.
Moon Club Podcast number 234, YouTube version. We out.
Fuck you, Craig Murray.
Yeah, fuck you, Craig. Piece of shit. Love you, man.
Love you.